digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast World Cup coverage. Analyze and preview all the games of the World Cup here on the Sportscast. Sportscast World Cup coverage. And here's your host, Santiago Leon. Welcome to the Sportscast World Cup coverage, December 12th, 2022. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online digital radio. You can visit us on thesportscast.net or visit us on Twitter, the Sportscast1, also on Instagram, the Sportscast. You could also you can also get our app, the Sportscast, and visit our website, thesportscast.net. The quarterfinals of the World Cup is over. Now we proceed into the semifinal of the World Cup in Qatar 2022. The first match, of course, is going to be Argentina versus Croatia, and then France versus Morocco. But let's recap first on what happened in the quarterfinals. England lost against France 2-1. France are through to the semifinals of the World Cup after a 2-1 win over England. The holders broke the deadlock in the 17th minute through Chouamani's long-range strike into the bottom corner. England made a bright start to the second half, though, and were awarded a penalty after Saka was tripped, and Kane fired it into the back of the net. Giroud restored France's lead in the 78th minute with a header from close range, and the Three Lions had another chance to equalize from the spot, but Kane blazed that one high over the bar. France will now face Morocco in the semifinal on Wednesday as they edge closer to complete a successful title defense. In the other quarterfinal match, Morocco has written history. It's become the first African first World Cup semi-finalist by bravely beating Portugal in Ottomana, defending relentlessly and exhibiting great skill on the break. The Atlas Lions roar into the Final Four thanks to En Nesri's magnificent first half header. Even with several injuries to contend with, they delight their hordes of noisy fans, and having eliminated Belgium, Spain, and now Portugal, a high-stakes clash with England or France. High-stakes clash with France awaits. The latest member of the European establishment left Portugal favorites to win this match, but Morocco playing a defensive-minded match, of course, parking the bus, and a goal by Youssef Enrazi in the beginning of the match. So Morocco will be the first Arab country in Northern Africa to go to the semi-final of World Cup history. Argentina versus Croatia is the first semifinal match tomorrow on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. This is the third World Cup head-to-head between Argentina and Croatia, and first matchup in the knockout stages. Argentina won 1-0 in 1998, but 4 years ago in Russia, Croatia beat Argentina 3-0. So this is definitely is not forgotten by a lot of the Argentinians. This will be Croatia's first World Cup game at Lusail Iconic Stadium, which that will be the final of the World Cup. The key player that Croatia did when they beat Brazil this past weekend was Borna Sosa. He kept Rafinha and Antony quiet down Croatia's left side, and the fullback was very confident that this team can go to the distance. Argentina's will be missing two players suspended Gonzalo Montiel and Marcus Acuna, where their injury worries surrounding the integral Rodrigo de Paul. So we'll see what happens with the injury situation. Both teams reached the stage following a penalty shootout victory. So both of these teams have experience when it comes to penalties. And of course, recently in the last round, they went through a penalty shootout, and the pair can be confident that they have two goalkeepers with form for stopping the opposition from the spot. Martinez has definitely been a fantastic part of Argentina, and we'll see what happens in this shootout. The other semi-final match will be France versus Morocco. France entered the final four without any fresh injury or suspension concerns to contend with, although some felt that Theo Hernandez barge on Mason Mount for Kane's second spot kick warranted more than just a yellow card. LeBlanc 11 picks itself at this point, with Jules Koundé firmly ousting Benjamin Pavard in the right back position, and Theo Hernandez doing a competent job in the absence of his stricken brother Lucas Hernandez, who suffered a torn ACL in their opening match with Australia. France's all-time leading male scorer, Giroud, will become the oldest player in history to score 5 goals in a single World Cup should he make the net ripple here. And while Kylian Mbappe was kept relatively quiet by England, Le Bleu have now won all 10 World Cup games in which the 23-year-old has started. Meanwhile, Morocco striker Walid Shadera received 2 yellow cards in quick succession against Portugal and will be suspended for the semi-final. But the 24-year-old was never expected to push for a starting berth. West Ham's United Aguard missed the quarterfinal win over Portugal after sustaining an adductor injury against France in the last 16, but Regari will pull out all stops to have him available after Romain Says had to be stretchered off on Saturday due to an ongoing hamstring issue. Says has affirmed that he will do everything in his power to be fit for the semi-final, where Mazzari could also force his way back into the fray from a hip flexor problem, and Akeem Ziyech will expect to be fine despite also being forced off over the weekend. So there you have it for the preview of the World Cup semi-final. My prediction, if I had to be between Argentina and Croatia, I pick Argentina to win 2-0, and I choose France to beat Morocco 3-0. So those are my prediction. And we'll be continuing the World Cup coverage. You can follow us at thesportscast.net or on Twitter, the Sportscast1. Let us know if you have any questions. Leave a comment below, and we'll see you later.